You put out a tweet, a meme that landed you in a bit of a soup. You said you have opinion polls and exit polls and results. It looks like exit polls and results are pretty similar this time.
Well, yes, absolutely. I think you guys got it spot on. And the country is celebrating your exit polls and now your results too. I think this is a fantastic victory in the right direction. I think it's historic because I think post-Jawaharlal Nehru, this is the first time that a party, a leader, tallest leader of the country, PM Narendra Modi, has swept the country in a single majority as a single party twice in a row consecutively. So this is a very, very exciting time. And yes, my film is releasing tomorrow on the 24th of May. And I think the celebration of these results that is coming out today, I think will be tomorrow in the theaters. I'd also like to say to all the senior leaders in the Congress who tried very hard to stop my film, and a special message for Mr. Rahul Gandhi. In film parlance, I think, unfortunately, Mr. Gandhi, your film has flopped. I think for you to introspect should begin with watching our film. I invite you to come and watch our film tomorrow to see the journey and the inspirational life of what India believes is the right leader and the right kind of leadership.
So we've seen a campaign with high drama, a film that is stretched to over 2 months this summer in India. Do you believe there is still an appetite to go and watch what Narendra Modi's life has been like for 3 more hours in a theatre?
Well, it's 2 hours, 15 minutes, and it's an entertaining, interesting, inspirational approach to the film. And I think that people will enjoy it, and it is truly something that will bring the Desh Bhakti spirit to the fore, because it truly celebrates Modi ji's journey from being a little chaiwala to, reaching the chief ministership of Gujarat, and then eventually the journey that took him to become prime minister. All that he had to rise above, all the problems, the controversies, all the issues that he had to face, and how he rose above it all with his positivity. Modi ji has kind of changed the electoral space in India. I think there's a big shift from the British times. We used to have a policy of divide and rule in this country. And that continued and reflected in our politics for a very long time.
Vivek,
I think for the first time he changed the formula to unite and rule.
Right, Vivek, Krishna over here from the WION Studios. Glad to have you.
And the reason I say that is because you see about 23... Hey.
Good to see you.
Always good to see you.
Always
so
good to see
I was
you.
saying that the reason I say that he's changed it to unite and rule is that there are 23 to 24 minority-dominated seats with more than 15% Muslim population that have, en masse voted for Modi ji.
Fair enough.
For change, for
we don't have those
talaq,
figures
for
yet.
real issues that make a difference.
We don't have those figures yet of how many Muslims have voted for him and how many Hindus have. But interesting, you seem to have done your homework. What is the homework you did before playing Narendra Modi for this film?
Sorry, say that again?
Yes, I'm saying that when you decided to do a biopic on the Prime Minister right before the election, what is the homework? Why did this movie excite you? Why did you do it?
Well, I think it's an incredible journey. I mean, Palki, if I tell you, let's switch back to a time machine and go back into the 1950s and 60s, and we're traveling in a little train and we reach Vadnagar railway station, and this kid comes in and starts serving us hot tea in these little clay pots. And I look at you and I say, that kid is going to be Prime Minister of this country one day. I mean, you'd be, come on, it's a stretch of imagination.
Vivek, stay with us. Vivek, requesting
reality.
you to just hold on for a
not
second.
Some kid who was studying in MIT or IIT or Oxford or Cambridge, but that kid.
Right, Vivek, we really get the point, and as Palki was telling us, you've done your homework fantastically well, hopefully enough for the film as well, because I'm here to watch the film. We have one of our panelists, Professor Paranjbhai, who has a question for you. Professor, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I wish your film all success, Vivek.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. But my question to you is this, that, when any serious actor plays a part, plays a role, they also interpret that role. So what was your insight into the character of Narendra Modi when you tried to portray him? Can you share that with us?
Well, it was fascinating for me because I've known Mr. Modi since his days as Gujarat CM. We've had a friendship. I've seen his journey from Gujarat CM to the Prime Minister. I've campaigned for him consistently. I've believed in his politics. But when I looked into the personal aspects of him, there were a lot of fascinating little details that cropped up. But what stood out to me is something that I connect on a very human level with. I've observed, because I work a lot in my philanthropy, I work a lot with people from very poor backgrounds. And I see that since they don't have the money, they always chase the money. They think that money is equated with success. Money is what will get them and their families out of a life in abject poverty. But when I was researching, Modi ji's life, when I went back to where his roots were, where he began his journey, met his old neighbors, saw where he started his journey from, I found out that his mother, who he loved a lot and respected a lot, had to wash dirty vessels in people's houses just to make ends meet in the house. And despite that, despite coming from that abject poverty, the man never chased money. I mean, he's Gujarati. He should have dhando, business in his blood, right? He could have gone to any mama kaka and said, set me up with a little, trading unit. But he never did that. And what fascinates me is that philanthropy, unfortunately, is done on a full stomach, right? When we are content is when we start to look outward and say, hey, what can I do for you? But here was a man who came from nothing, had nothing, and yet always gave everything to his nation. And I think that is the brand of politics that Narendra Modi represents. Move all the garbage out, the accusations, the allegations, move it out. Look at the essence of it. And I really wish that our film inspires more young people to look at that. Because you will have controversies in public life.
Right.
I'm somebody who can tell you that for a fact. But you have to rise above it and keep, walking your path.
Oh, for once, an actor sounds like a fan. Thanks very much, Vivek Oberai, for joining us, and all the very best for your movie.